If you're a business leader who is tired of the endless hype around AI, this is for you. Making business AI work is not like most AI books. It won't tell you to disrupt or die or throw money at flashy projects. It's for leaders who want clarity, not chaos, value, not vanity. This is about real-world value, not just flashy projects. So to get to that clarity, we have first to unpack the chaos. Before we get going though, I want to put this next concept firmly in your head. Think partnership. It's the red thread that runs throughout the book and underpins all my experience and thinking around AI. AI is frightening. Apparently it's going to take everyone's jobs. Your staff will have seen the power of these tools. When will they start getting rid of us? You must approach the AI question carefully, transparently, and truthfully. The key benefits are not cost savings from replacing staff, but partnership, augment capability, productivity, efficiency, less stress, better knowledge, and better decision making. Moving your business stance from reactive to proactive, anticipating what will happen, opportunities and threats, and being ready to address both. And that brings us to section 1, the AI hype trap. Here we tackle the big question. Why are so many smart, well-intentioned companies getting AI so incredibly wrong? And here's the thing. The usual diagnosis is pretty simple. It's not the technology that's failing. Most of these AI efforts crash and burn because of strategy. It's a failure of intention, too often driven by hype rather than by any real defined business problem. So what's really driving these projects? Well, forget solving actual problems. Like it or not, these are the common causes we find. And the fallout is the same. Wasted money, disillusioned leadership, cynical teams, and absolutely zero real impact. And the scale of this problem is staggering. According to Gartner, a jaw-dropping 85% of AI projects ultimately fail to deliver on their promise. From MIT, 95% of AI pilots are failing. Whatever the actual statistics used, the message is they are large. That is a huge amount of wasted capital, time, and credibility. So, where does this all go wrong? For many, it starts with a fundamental misunderstanding between two very different types of AI. A leader has a great experience with a personal tool, like a chatbot that helps them write an email, and they just assume that you can scale that up for the whole company. But business AI is a completely different beast. Its whole purpose is organizational transformation, and the risk is potentially high. You're talking about security, governance, auditability, all these things that a simple personal tool just doesn't have to worry about. It's easy to see all this and just get paralyzed, right? Afraid of doing it wrong. But here's the twist. In the book, I argued there is an even bigger risk that most people are ignoring, and that is the quiet cost of waiting. Turns out, doing nothing at all is also a high-risk strategy. I explore these 3 hidden threats that are just quietly eating away at your organization when you hesitate. First, there's administrative overload, which is just burying your best people in busy work. That bar represents a productive day in the life of your talent. 60% of their time on administration. Important, yes. Remunerative, less so. And here is another frightening statistic. I knew this was a problem, but this big? That figure represents the average amount of business knowledge stored in the heads of your people, not in your systems, not documented, stored in heads. We call this institutional knowledge. 42% of it is stored in people's heads, how things are done, even who knows how to get something done. Consider this. Is there a key individual you secretly dread losing? All that knowledge walking out of the door. Call it the brain drain. And finally, decisions in the dark, where your teams are drowning in data and reports, graphs and spreadsheets, but are starved of actual insights, crying out for knowledge they can trust and believe. Okay, so we've seen the high cost of jumping in, and we've seen the cost of just sitting there on the sidelines. So what's the way out? Well, it all comes down to this fundamental shift in how you think about it, what I refer to in the book as the problem first turning point. This quote just cuts right through to the heart of the issue and was lifted from my book by a clever tool, personal, not business, called Google Notebook LM. The antidote to all this noise, fear, vanity, hype is discipline. Strategic, grounded, problem-led discipline. So here's the key takeaway. The leaders who are actually winning with AI, they aren't the fastest ones. They're the clearest thinkers. These leaders are not focused on the features and benefits of technology solutions. They understand how their business actually runs, how their people and processes, systems and data need to be aligned, and they're focused on solutions to actual problems. Okay, so a mindset shift sounds great, but how do you actually get this done? How do you put it into practice? That's where we get to move on from the philosophy to the actual practical playbook. We need a Framework for clarity. In the book, I lay out a super simple but really powerful framework called APEX. It's aligned with all the professional frameworks like NIST, etc., but is designed to help deliver a real-world solution. APEX stands for Assess, Prioritise, Execute, and then Expand. Think of it like a set of guardrails for your entire AI journey. It's a repeatable process that takes all those problem-first ideas and turns them into clear, actionable plans. And look, the most critical step here, and I mean by a long shot, is that first one, assess. Before you even think about a solution, you have to do a serious audit of your foundations. Are you actually AI ready? Is your data ready? Does the idea align with your core strategy? Do you have the right leadership, vision, and people, and the right culture in place? Skipping this step is basically like deciding to build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. It's just not going to end well. We talked about 3 initial goals: addressing administration, making better decisions, and storing that business knowledge. Where are the problems? Where are the opportunities? Because once you get going with AI, the big wins come from those opportunities. The big picture is about way more than just a few successful little projects. It's about building your company's business brain. I call this the digital business brain, and it's basically a central nervous system for your entire organization. And I want to be clear, this isn't some single piece of software you just go out and buy. It's a whole coherent system of intelligence that connects your data, preserves that precious knowledge, and starts to deliver actual foresight. We're talking about something way beyond just a fancy database. A real digital business brain is actively preserving your institutional memory. It's connecting those frustrating silos between departments. It's sharing knowledge and understanding. It's turning hindsight into foresight, and it's delivering curated, contextual insight exactly when and where it's needed. It really becomes a cognitive layer for the whole business. And really, this all comes back to that core message that you'll see again and again in this book. It's such a simple but powerful idea. Clarity beats clever every time. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to be clever with technology. The goal is to be crystal clear about the business problems you're trying to solve and the opportunities you will be able to expose. So I want to leave you with this final provocative question. Whether you have actively planned for it or not, your organization's AI journey has already started. Your staff are using AI, possibly exposing you to risk and compliance questions. Departments will be experimenting with AI solutions. So you have got to ask yourself, are you actually building a real, lasting capability, or are you just buying the hype? To get the full picture, you're going to need to read the book. If you want an early digital copy, send an email to jane@intelidat.net. If you're looking for help in the meantime, I do a free, confidential one-to-one where we look to help you understand how to get going. No sales pattern, no technology for sale, no time-barred best offers. Just to focus on your business, where you are, what you need to do first. And the link is on the slide. Or you can go to the Intelidat website, intelidat.net EAI. This is a page that will give you more background and insights from the book. I hope that you enjoy this book, and if you have any comments or thoughts, my email address is on the screen, philip@intelidat.net. I wish you all the best on your AI journey and remind you of that initial slide. Partnership, built on leadership, culture and discipline, and underpinned with a pragmatic framework. Making Business AI Work will be published and available on Amazon as a paperback, on Kindle, or by request from Intelidat as a PDF.